Okay. Let's talk sportsbook plays. We're looking at DK. We're looking at points bet. By the way, if you are in a state where it's legal, or if you're not, you can still set up an account and they will notify you once it becomes legal. It would really make us happy if you sign up at PointsBet using promo code TJ250. Guess what? That 250 means something. It means you can get a deposit bonus up to $250 if you deposit. PointsBet will match. And actually, we found, if you compare a lot of these outright numbers, they're better on PointsBet. DraftKings has a number of them, but you got to
There's a
shop
few.
lines.
There's a
You got to
few
shop
that you
lines.
can. Yeah, I have 3 or 4 on both sides here that I like. So
promo code TJ250. Go to PointsBet, PointsBet. I think I spelled that right. .com. PointsBet.com. Legal in like New Jersey, Iowa, Illinois. I think for now, coming soon to like Tennessee, Colorado, all those places.
Tennessee, Colorado.
Gamble responsibly, but definitely use TJ250. We would really appreciate that. They help. They give us a little love when that happens, and it makes them say, "Hey, we want to keep working with you guys." All right, Pat. Where are you looking? Outrights.
Well, there's not there are some times when I like to go a little bit shorter, but there's really not anybody that strikes my fancy that short, other than
Brian Harmon and Zach Johnson.
Yeah, well, they're just short in stature, but other than a guy you mentioned when we were talking about the 9K and above range that you weren't necessarily on, but you might look at a little bit harder later in the week. Ricky Fowler at 35-1. I think that could be a decent number for him.
So I like him. No, you think he's gonna win? I don't think he's gonna win.
I think he easily could. He's won before.
Easily could. Come on, man.
So I like Ricky.
Who's
Fowler
more drunk here?
I like Ricky Fowler at 35-1, despite my interrupting co-host. This interrupts all the time. Your boy Joaquin Niemann at 70-1, I think, is a really good number.
You hated on Joaquin Niemann.
No, I didn't hate on him. You mentioned I didn't hate on him. I just was giving you an example of a difference in stats and things like that, how you can point on different things. So I like Niemann.
You're talking out of both sides of your mouth, Senator.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I didn't say I wasn't necessarily going to play him. I just was pointing out a difference because he was like, there's only a few guys in the 8K range, and he was one of the guys you liked. I do think he's going to be higher owned than you think he is, but I like him in betting at 70-1. Joel Damon is at 140-1. We didn't mention him at all on the podcast. I think he's a guy that could be someone that could win this week. Adam Hadwin is also 140-1. Now, those last 4 that I mentioned are on DraftKings Sportsbook, but switching over to PointsBet, I like Abraham Answer at 60-1. I like Doc Redman at 70-1. He was another guy that I think pops in DFS that we did not mention, but I like that number at 70-1. And then a guy I mentioned in the 6K range at 150-1 on PointsBet is Scott Stallings. I think that makes a lot of sense there to put a few dollars there on Scott Stallings. So there you go.
Okay. I think I would lean a little shorter than I normally do this week with a lot of big names up top. The first name that really attracts my monies to be thrown down in a wager would be on DraftKings Sportsbook, and that is Louis Oosthuizen at 40-1. A slightly better number than PointsBet. Love Louis. Talked about him on the DFS side. In incredible form, winning upside, checks all the stat boxes. Love Louis. Again, I'm skipping guys who haven't. I don't really see a first timer with a ton of win equity here. I think it can happen, but I don't really see a lot of first time win equity in a field this stacked up at the top. So while I'm tempted to go like Cam Davis, 66-1, because I freaking love Cam Davis, and I may still, I would rather an 80-1 Siwoo Kim. Longer number, probably a much lower floor than Cam Davis, but the ceiling of winning for a guy like Siwoo, who, won the Players Championship and has won, a couple of PGA Tour events. 80-1, I like the number. A guy I did not mention in terms of DFS, but like Siwoo is a multiple winner on the PGA Tour, is Brendan Steele. He's 100-1. By the way, Siwoo was on PointsBet at 80-1, better number. Brendan Steele, better number on PointsBet as well at 100-1. Can take advantage of the par fives, plenty long. Hate his freaking golf swing. If I got a bet on Brendan Steele and he's in it come Sunday, I'm going to inject myself with some sort of sleeping medication just to let me go to sleep so that I can wake up and then someone can tell me whether Brendan Steele won or did not. But either way, I don't have to look at his golf swing. However, I think he could do it here. If I want to go long, I think a kid who's fearless enough and has competed top 10, top 15, has not won. This would be his first victory on the PGA Tour if he won, but has competed in enough events and has the ball striking ability to play well here. Taylor Gooch at 150-1 on PointsBet. DraftKings. No, PointsBet. 150-1. I like that for Gooch. And then a guy I mentioned in the DFS section that either misses the cut or literally finishes T14 or better and has done so in stronger fields than this is Zhenjun Zhang, who is at 200-1 on DraftKings. That's a big number for a guy who has a bunch of top 15s on the tour. Again, albeit a bunch of miscuts, but Zhenjun Zhang 200-1, I'll take it. I've got some top 10s and top 20s that I also think are interesting. Do you have any of those?
I don't. Go ahead with those.
You don't. Okay. Top 10, two guys at 14-1, and I like both of these a lot. Tringali and Sepp Straka, both at 14-1. Both good ball strikers. Straka loves bent grass greens, putts best on bent grass. That's what he's proven over his little over a year PGA Tour career. 12-1 for a top 10. Joel Damon, who you mentioned in the outrights, Taylor Gooch, who I already mentioned, and Adam Hadwin, who I talked about on the DFS side. 12-1 for top 10s on those three. And then a few top 20 bets, if I'm looking at, double-digit numbers here that I like. Justin Suh, who I mentioned in the DFS section, college standout, great ball striker, hits it plenty long, great pedigree. A top 20 is feasible, I think, for him at 11-1. Nick Watney at 10-1. He's a Vegas guy, very familiar with this golf course. Can pop up and have a top 20 easily here. He's at 10-1. And then a guy who's been playing pretty well here recently in the last few weeks, another PGA Tour winner, just hasn't won in a long time, 10-1, Sean O'Haire. I think he's an interesting 10-1
O'Haire
for top 20. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Cheers. All right. Check out DB's Big Balls betting card. Comes out on Tuesday afternoon with kind of my first thoughts. And then by Wednesday, it's finalized. I basically tell you if all you had was $50 and you wanted to bet on golf, here's how I would spend that $50. We're 25 units up on the year through 4 events. Doing pretty good. Just hit Hudson Swafford at 150-1 2 weeks ago. Last week had a bunch of live numbers with Cam Davis leading going into Sunday at 60-1. Had Ventura at 75-1, 2 shots back. Had Hoffman at 70-1, 3 shots back, all going into Sunday. They all 3 crapped the bed, but we've been really close. So check it out. And then, of course, Pat has his that he tweets, and it's called what? Pat's
Not That Anyone Cares betting card.
Yes.
That one comes out randomly. We don't know when. We don't have a schedule for it, but
yeah, it may not come out.
We're now 2 weeks in a row. We have not hit a bet. We came very close with Tyler McCumber.
Just 2 weeks, though. 2 weeks. That's okay.
Yeah, just 2 weeks. We came close. Well, actually, no, we have hit a bet.
Oh, you hit Hudson Swafford.
We hit the first round
leader.
Yeah, we hit that. And then we almost hit McCumber at 225-1, but it was either way. You were going to hit Hudson Swafford, I was going to hit that one. So, it hasn't been a bad start for Pat's Not That Anyone Cares betting card. So you just got to look out whether it's going to be on Twitter. It could be on Instagram. It could be in the Nut Hut chat. It could be anywhere.
We could mail it to you.
Yeah.
You never know. Like, you got to be careful. Pat could literally write it out and like lick a envelope and send it to you in the mail. You got to be on the lookout for the Pat's not that anyone cares betting card.